Trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
If you make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next? What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the realtor makes it happen.
We worked with the realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Miss one of your favorite shows? Don't worry, we've got your radio DVR right here on KCAAradio.com. Log on and listen to any show you want, anytime you want, on KCAA 1050 AM.
Good afternoon. It's a couple of minutes past the hour. I'm Di Rice with the latest in local news on KCAA 1050 AM. A former Yucaipa High School Spanish teacher is on 5 years probation stemming from a sex abuse case involving a student. Sheila Heacock, 45, must surrender by August 14th to begin a 260-day jail term as part of her probation. She will be counseled in a sex offender treatment program. Heacock was sentenced Wednesday after pleading guilty to unlawful sex with a minor. She was arrested last year after a then 16-year-old student alleged he was a victim of a sexual abuse case that went on for 2 months. Heacock was an 18-year employee of the Yucaipa-Calimesa Unified School District. And the Lake Fire will not hamper Big Bear Lake's 29th annual Independence Day Fair. On Saturday, fireworks will be shot off of a barge in the middle of Big Bear Lake with synchronized music. The spectacle can be seen from all over Big Bear Valley, but there is also a smaller fireworks display that will take place on a small barge on the lakefront near the Marina Resort. For more information, go to bigbear.com. Inland Empire weather cooling down for your 4th of July weekend. Tomorrow's highs expected to be about 92, Sunday 90, all under a partly cloudy sky. Lows tonight 64. Currently it's about 93 degrees here in San Bernardino. That's the latest in local news. I'm Di Rice on KCAA 1050 AM. This report has been brought to you by Paula Casino Spa and Resort. Unleash your inner foodie with chef-inspired food and wine pairings at Cave, now open at Paula Casino and Resort. It's a one-of-a-kind wine cave, lounge, and dining experience you'll have to see to believe. Visit paulacasino.com to learn more.
From the latest movies and TV shows to comedy and music, we cover it all on The Beat Pod Show with me, Brad Dalius, each and every week.
Sunday at 11 a.m. and Mondays at 3 p.m.
Here on CNBC, KCAA, 1050 a.m.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
This is Max Headroom.
Sit back,
Relax.
and enjoy.
Inland Empire, It's time to lift your head up off the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, live from someplace in, wait a minute, Placentia. That's it. Here's Trevor and his co-host, Lyle Fenimore. You're in tune to Trevor's Happy Hour. Time to get your weekend started, kids.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello there.
Happy 4th of July weekend. This is Trevor.
This is Lyle.
And we're here again, live.
It really is the 4th of July already. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's the half of the year's gone. It's just crazy how it keeps going. Like, as you get older, how does this happen? It's like, I remember we were kids. Remember, like, you wanted summer school and all that. It's something like it never come. Now it just comes so fast.
Yeah, it does. It's like you couldn't wait to be 18. You couldn't wait to be 21. Now it's just like, can we stop it? Kind of like pull the brake a little bit?
Right. It's impossible now. It's just coming too quick. Anyways, thanks everybody for listening. Today, we're going to have a show about something that irritated me because I did a show on Kcaa a few years back about, and I'm going to mention this, the Amos and Andy show and how they pulled it off the air for racial reasons. And what's ridiculous is now they're trying to pull the Dukes of Hazzard off because of some wacko kid that goes in and kills a bunch of people in a church. What do these TV shows have to do with this?
Absolutely nothing. I think it's ridiculous. Like you said, what does a show that ended 30 years ago? It ended when I was a sophomore in high school, for crying out loud, okay? What does that have to do with what's happening right now? What does that got to do with this guy who hopefully gets the gas chamber or whatever happens to him? I don't know. But anyway, what does that have to do with something that in the movie in 2005 or 2006, everybody loved? General Lee. I see a lot of General Lees at all the car shows that I go to. It is so ridiculous.
Right. I mean, television influences our lives so much that they have to pick on it when something bad goes wrong in our society. I mean, Dave, can we get Dave Learman on to kind of interject into this one?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dave.
What's up?
Hey, I hate to toot my own horn, but
hey, that's okay. I do it all the time.
YouTube. I was on a little show called the World Series of Pop Culture. And I beat out 300,000 people to make the top 16. And speaking of racism, I lost $250,000 on a Beyonce Knowles question. So that's a lot of money on something involving race. So I thought I would pull everything we're talking about with a little game show. And Lyle,
yes.
Trevor, would you two be my contestants?
Go for it.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
You're going to make us look.
I am going to ask you some questions, and I've called this game show. You remember the show Politically Incorrect?
Yes, Bill Maher.
This
right?
show is called Political Correctness. All right, and we're going to try to avoid any ignorance. Okay?
Okay.
So put your thinking caps on. All right?
Okay.
Now, if you know the answer to the question, all you got to do is buzz in. So, like, Lyle, here, we're going to try a test question. And if you know, you'll go buzz. Or if Trevor, you know, you go beep. Got it?
Okay.
All right? Now, Bruce Jenner is all over the news because she's a transgender or LGBT person, right? What was the first TV sitcom to star one's an Academy Award winner, a gentleman who had to dress as women.
Beep.
Who was that?
Beep.
I got the bucket. Yeah, we'll give it to Trevor.
Okay, go.
Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari, bosom
And
buddies.
the show was?
Bosom buddies.
That is correct. Bonus question, or should we move on?
I don't care. Take the
'Cause we
bonus
covered
question.
up-
Okay, give me the
Take
bonus.
the bonus question. What the heck?
You want the bonus one?
Yes.
What movie starring Dustin Hoffman had to dress as a woman
Beep.
to get a job? What?
Beep.
Go.
Bonus question?
Is that bonus question only for
Tootsie.
Trevor or
Yeah,
for
that
both
was
of
the
us?
bonus question.
Tootsie.
What movie starring Dustin Hoffman?
Tootsie.
Tootsie, that is correct. So these
Okay.
are nothing new. All right, now they're going to get harder.
Okay.
This was the biggest selling album of all time. It featured 3 white guys. They sounded like they were black. It was titled Licensed to Ill by
Buzz.
the Beat.
Buzz.
Wait, let me finish the question.
All right,
Let
Buzz,
me
I already
finish
know
the
what it is.
question. Let me finish the question. This is political erectness, and don't be ignorant, all right?
Okay.
Let me finish the question. I was known as the 4th Beastie Boy. This is very true, very true. And I'm going to give you a little hint, and this is also true. The king of all media, Howard Stern, Private Parts,
Yes.
the book, he wanted to originally release it and call it Mein Kampf, which was Hitler's biography. So I'd be surprised if you know the answer to this. The original title to their debut, best-selling record of all time because of their crossover black-white audience, Licensed to Ill, was originally called this slang term. Now you're going to have to sort of censor it a bit, and you just have to fill in the blank. Don't be a blank, and it's slang for the people who just got a license to get married. Anybody? Don't be a...
That's all on
Does
you,
it start
bro.
with an H?
Nope.
A Q?
10 seconds.
A Q?
All right, you want to bail?
F?
All right, starts with an F.
There's an F.
Ends with a T. That was the original title.
Okay,
of
I got it.
Licensed to Ill.
All right.
So again, this has
Okay.
been around for a long time.
Okay.
This has been around for a long
Okay,
time.
Dave,
Yeah.
okay. We're going to come back. We got to go to a break. Can you stay on the line?
Okay, well, I'm going to stay around, but I did want to start by pointing out that this racism and this political incorrectness is a bunch of BS, and we're going to drink. So let me open up the bottle of vodka.
Yeah, get into
break,
that
and
liquor
I'm very
cabinet
happy
right
now.
now.
Yeah.
Get into your liquor cabinet.
Hell, even buck-toothed and bow-legged women start looking hot. And pretty soon I'm bumming cigarettes and sweet-talking some big brunettes. Yeah, once I get...
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com. So you got your taxes done and filed on time, or maybe not. Now is not the time to panic, though. I've got the solution, and they're right here in the Southland. Weinkoop & Associates been in the business of serving OC and IE accounting and bookkeeping needs for more than 30 years. Whether you're a small or large business or an individual who needs info and help with trust management, accounting, and tax returns, Weinkoop & Associates can help. Oh, and the initial evaluation is free. Call 949-851-1632. That's 949-851-1632. Or go to winecoopcpa.com. That's WYNKOOP CPA.com. Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you know where you are? Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straight in the curve, yeah, flat in the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow.
Okay, we're back. Dave Learman, are you still there?
And I love the Dukes of Hazzard. And, you know, Daisy Dukes. I mean, how did everybody learn about derriere?
You can't watch them anymore. They're pulled from television.
Yeah, they're pulled from TV land.
Now, we've got a couple.
That is so horrible.
We've got a couple. Hey,
you
Dave.
guys know Lyle. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell Lyle something.
Yeah, what's up?
This week, in honor of you, I went to, I go to McDonald's a lot because of their value menu, and I named this in honor of Lyle. Anybody who was, should we say, abusing the hairnet rule got the special Dave Lerman magic treatment, and that was especially for you.
Okay, great.
All right,
thanks, Bubba.
Dave, we're going to go to our first. We got two guests on the air. I'm going to I'll bring around one at a time.
And Dave, I'm happy to hear that your mother came home from the hospital.
Oh
First-
yeah. Thank
first
you
of
very
all,
much.
Dave.
She's on solid foods.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Thank you, everybody.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You, everybody.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. First off, we've got Robbie Wrist. Are you there, Robbie?
Yes, I am.
All right. You're on with Dave Learman and Trevor and Lyle.
Hello.
Hi. Robbie has a background in television. Dave, let's do that trivia question. What television show did Robbie Wrist start on?
Dave, are you out there?
Dave.
Apparently, Dave has gone to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, he went to McDonald's.
Dave, are
He's
you
got to give away some more of that hair treatment, huh?
Dave, are you gone?
Yeah, I'm here. Is it Robbie Wrist?
It's Robbie Wrist.
Oh, Oliver, cousin Oliver. Sure, I love Robbie. I love your music.
Yeah, but what was the
No,
name of the
talk
show?
online. You're Facebook friends. Robbie Wrist, you're great.
Yeah,
Cousin
but what was the name of the
Oliver.
show, Dave?
Hey, how you doing,
Well,
Robbie?
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
we've
Thank
been
you for being with
online.
us.
Robbie's a great dude. And Robbie was in Sharknado, too.
Yes, I was.
But he didn't even get
Yeah,
the TV.
very
Hey,
handsome
Dave,
man,
you haven't got
too.
the TV show yet.
What's that?
I'm sorry?
You
Dave
said
has.
cousin Oliver, but you didn't say what the name of the TV show was.
Oh, the Brady Bunch.
Oh, well, okay.
All
There
right.
we are. Okay, we're complete now.
and here's my little, and talk about political incorrectness. Now, hey, Robbie, let me ask you this.
Wait a minute. We got another guest before we get there.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Let me run this thing. All right, now we've got Dusty Angel. He's a huge talk show host in Los Angeles. Dusty, you there?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm from
Not
Hollywood.
necessarily
I know
huge,
Dusty as
but-
well. Dusty.
You're gonna.
Definitely
You're huge to me.
I want a little bit of whatever Dave Lerman has over there.
Yeah, I think we all want a little bit of what Dave has.
All right, and Dusty, you're like one of my heroes.
Oh,
I love
get
that,
out of here.
too.
But thank you very much. It's good to join this discussion, fellas.
Right. Okay, Robbie. Let Dave kiss your. You know what? Go ahead, Dave.
Okay.
Hey, Robbie, I got to ask you a question. In not say today's climate, because we're more socially accepting, in the 60s, because I was showing my mom in the hospital, we were watching some Paul Lynde from Bewitched and Paul Lynde on Hollywood Squares. If Robert Reed would have been out of the closet in that climate, I don't think he would have been as accepted as he would. It would have never flown. Would you agree with that?
Of course.
Yeah. And, I mean, Robert Reed was America's dad. And Robbie and Dusty, you'll both remember this. Remember the Numbers Bar on top of the Laugh Factory on Sunset?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like this notorious. It was just on the outskirts of West Hollywood, and Robert Reed would hang out there a lot. And anybody in the inner circle knew, Jim J. Bullock, Paul Lynde, and in show business, hey, whatever. There is absolutely no stigma whatsoever in the LGBT world. But in Arkansas, where people are closed-minded, and that's where this BS with the Dukes of Hazzard is just ridiculous. So
right, Dusty, what do you think about this whole mess?
Well, you know what I got to say, guys. First of all, as good Americans, so I'm looking at you guys and I'm listening to you. You guys sound like good, decent Americans. I'm going to tell you guys why America is falling behind the rest of the world. And America's falling behind the rest of the world because the rest of the world is not worrying about some stupid flag on top of some stupid car from some TV show that hasn't been on the air in 30 years.
I'm with you 100%. That's what I was saying earlier. I watched that show when I was a kid, and like I said, everybody, loved the Dukes of Hazzard. At least everybody in my circle, most everybody that I've ever talked to loved the show, and I would think that we.
Great show. It's history. I mean, what's next?
Exactly. We have better things to worry about.
Start cutting out Three's Company because Mr. Roker and Mr. Furley made fun of Jack because they thought he was gay. I mean, where is it going to stop?
Exactly.
Guys, I was switching to a landline, so just bear
Robbie,
with me here.
Back when you were on television, I mean, did you see a lot of this as offensive to you?
What did you say? A lot of what was offensive? What was the flag thing? Well,
no, not the flags. I mean, just like what we're talking about, political correctness back then. We look, Robbie and I, we grew up about the same time in Downey, California. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we didn't find that offensive back then. Now all of a sudden, everybody's politically correct.
Well, yeah, but I think also our culture is getting a little bit more. I mean, we're talking a lot more about the history of our country, and a lot of people are starting to sort of reassess what that was all about. I mean, I think the taking the show off the TV show or off the channel is silly as well. But if it is part of the adjustment that's going to happen to actually, make that flag. I saw a really great meme of some guy who said, I got Nazis in my family. I got a couple of cousins and some uncles, from back in the day. And if I flew a Nazi flag saying it was part of my heritage, that would bum people out. And the truth of the matter is that the battle flag it hung over government buildings in the South as a way for white people to tell all the black people that they were still in charge. And so if it turns out that we lose a TV show for a couple of decades, like it's not going to come back, if that's part of the adjustment, I'm fine with it.
Do you think it's a money? You think it's a money maker?
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot we're Americans. It's all about money, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where is this going to go, though? I mean, everyone's lives changed who's in the business, the broadcasting business, the day after Janet Jackson decided to pull her breasts out at the Super Bowl. I mean, radio, nothing has been the same since. It's only going to get. I was listening to classic Howard Stern yesterday morning from just not even 20 years ago, and all I kept thinking in my head was, this stuff would never fly today. The stuff Howard Stern was doing just 18 years ago, he could never do today.
And not at all.
I remember sharing a dressing room with the head of the KKK. I was one of the judges on Stern's pay-per-view, and I had to share a dressing room with John Wayne Bobbitt and Daniel Carver from the KKK. And my dad, who passed away recently, he survived the Holocaust watching his dad. He was 5 years old, watching my grandfather being shot by the Nazis. And here I am, on one side of me is John Wayne Bobbitt, whose only claim to fame is having his penis cut off. And on the left is Daniel Carver, Wake Up White People. And here's the Jew in the middle. And I'm going, what is this the Twilight Zone? And Dusty, the interesting thing is, and Robbie, you'll remember.
Dave, your phone isn't acting right.
Yeah, you know what? I'm noticing the same thing.
To a landline. Can you hear me better now?
No,
you on a landline?
Okay, I'll go back to the other one. Hold on. Hang on.
Hey, Robbie.
Robbie. Okay, chime in, Robbie. Your phone's great.
Soap. Remember when Billy Crystal was the first gay on Soap?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody said a word.
Oh.
All right,
well,
hey, Dave.
that's actually not completely true. Soap was really derided for a lot of the things that it talked about when it was out. There was an awful lot of, this show is just another example of America going into the toilet, blah 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 blah.
And then Benson became governor.
The thing is, loved it, still do.
Yeah, I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, it's amazing. Soap kind of set the new precedent for having a show where you can be funny and sad all in the same half hour.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, so the thing is, we're in a period of adjustment now, and yeah, there's the media defines everything by the edges.
Dave.
So on both edges,
Right.
everybody is saying, this is wrong, this is right, blah blah blah.
Right.
And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah, don't yank a TV show off the air. But again, if that is the sort of thing that is going to have to happen for us to really look at that period in our history and who we were and making sure that never happens again, I'm all for it.
Gentlemen, if I may,
I can't hear.
We're having bad connections. The only person that sounds good is Robbie.
That's just because I'm a professional.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you tell it like it is. I love it. Hey, Robbie.
What if we do this? Let's keep Robbie on, and you guys call back. How's that?
Okay.
Can both you guys call back because we've lost Dusty and Dave. But Robbie can take the show. All right.
Hey, Robbie.
Yes.
Hey, this is Lyle. You got Lyle, the man-child. I got to tell you, brother. I've been watching you since we're not too far from the same age, I guess. I'll be 45 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you got the Brady Bunch. I've seen you in an episode of Chips. Remember the snake?
Yeah.
Remember
sure.
the snake that got around Ponch's leg? I love it. And then you're on an episode of Emergency when your dad gets in a car wreck, and then you were staying with the different firemen, and you were just like a holy terror, right?
No. The two emergencies are I'm in a flooded sewer and I'm in a rock quarry.
Wait, that's not you that I just saw the other day with the dad. You know what? Maybe the kid just looked like you and he had different glasses.
Yeah, there's the sort of blonde hair glasses archetype has been around for a while.
Okay, well I got the Chips right, and I know I got and I got the what's happening. Stella, Stella, right?
Amazing.
I love it.
Lyle's really excited today.
Yeah, I'm always excited. I wake up excited. Come on.
And Lyle's he's into rock music too. So
I'm a metalhead.
Right on. Mm-hmm. Well, we did. There's still some of you guys left. Actually, the great thing about metalheads, like I come from the power pop world, which are kind of very similar genre kind of things.
Yeah.
But metal guys are so dedicated.
We are. You should have been at. I was at Mayhem last weekend, and you should see it. It was just like a big family festival. Like
totally.
I love it.
Metal fans are unbelievable that way. They're just so forgiving,
All right.
I mean, if you think about it, like the fact that what's his name from Judas Priest, Rob Halford came out and fans didn't care.
No.
And you think largely that audience is, dudes that would be like, oh, he's a fag? No way. So,
no, we didn't think that at all. He's the metal god. We don't care what he is.
Yeah. Again, kudos to the metal community.
Well, Robbie, can you hang on through a break? And we've got some more callers calling in.
Hey, can I call you guys back? I just got to finish something up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, it's a pleasure talking to you, Robbie.
Okay,
You're a legend,
and we'll go to
brother.
our callers and then call back.
All right.
Oh, we'll go to a break.
Pretty little one, but how has it all begun?
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com. So you got your taxes done and filed on time, or maybe not. Now is not the time to panic, though. I've got the solution, and they're right here in the Southland. Weinkoop & Associates been in the business of serving OC and IE accounting and bookkeeping needs for more than 30 years. Whether you're a small or large business or an individual who needs info and help with trust management, accounting, and tax returns, Weinkoop & Associates can help. Oh, and the initial evaluation is free. Call 949-851-1632. That's 949-851-1632, or go to WeinkoopCPA.com. That's WYNKOOP CPA.com.
I drink alone, yeah, with nobody else. I drink alone, yeah, with nobody else. Yeah, you know when I drink alone, I prefer to be by myself.
Trevor and Lyle, we're back. Trevor's Happy Hour, 888-909-1050. Lyle, we got to get to Dusty. I mean, Dusty and this phone situation, I hope it's better now.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep. Perfect.
Beautiful.
All right, this is your segment, and we're going to keep talking about the Dukes of Hazzard and the flags. And Dusty, you got the forum.
I just got to say, if they did a poll right now, I truly believe the majority of the people would not have a problem with the flag on top of the car. If anyone in the business, any type of business knows, it's not the majority of people. It's like 4 people sitting in a room who think other people are going to get offended. So they're like, you know what, let's pull this. But I bet you if they polled, majority of the people would not care if that flag was left on there.
Right. I mean, Lyle has a statement from John Schneider. Do you want to hear it?
Please.
In fact, I talked to his publicist yesterday. Go ahead. Read it.
The Dukes of Hazzard was and is no more a show seated in racism than Breaking Bad was a show seated in reality. I am saddened that one angry and misguided individual can cause one of the most beloved television shows in the history of the medium to suddenly be seen in this light. Are people who grew up watching the show now suddenly racist? Will they have to go through a detox and a 12-step program to kick their Dukes habit? Hi, my name is John. I'm a Dukesaholic. Throwing this particular baby out with the bathwater seems reactionary and overly PC to me. If the flag was a symbol of racism, then Bo and Luke and Daisy and Uncle Jesse were a pack of wild racists, and that could not be further from the truth. Mr. John Schneider.
Yeah, see? You couldn't have said it any better. I mean, Jesus.
Right.
Oh, by the way, he's, in case the listeners out there are wanting to know, John Schneider is the man who played Bo Duke during the entire run, and he became a very successful singer and an actor afterward.
Dusty, you don't seem very politically correct to me.
I guess I think we're all really not. We just kind of put on this front that we really are.
Yeah.
And my listeners, they just tell me, hey, you just kind of you say what we're all thinking. And, of course, we all kind of have this shield or this filter, I should say. And I guess my filter is just a little more, it's F it. Screw it.
Yeah. I saw this one.
on it.
I saw this one thing you posted that she pulled the end card, like that lady at the bar or whatever. You remember that one?
Oh, guys. Yeah, see, this is the stuff I look out for. And I don't just call out my race. Anyone who doesn't know, I'm half black, half white. Mom's white, dad's black. But I call out the BS in everyone. And I was sitting at this bar just a couple of weeks ago, and this drunk lady basically accused the whole staff, the working staff at this restaurant of being racist because they wouldn't serve her drunk but another drink. And I recorded the whole thing, and she walked up to me and flipped me off and waited for me outside for like 20 minutes and all that good stuff.
Oh, she tried to attack you?
No, she didn't try to attack me. She just got close to my phone, flipped it off, and drunkenly stumbled away.
Right. Well.
So, I mean, these are the things, and it's just like, it's so silly because this race thing is just, it's getting really, it's getting really ridiculous, guys. And my uncle once told me one thing. He told me when we still have things like Black History Month and we still have things like affirmative action, et cetera, name your program, where black people are never going to be, quote unquote, equal. Why do we need to have black leaders? I mean, I don't see any Asian leaders. I don't see any Jewish leaders. I mean, why do we have to have Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, who I think are a bunch of, goofballs anyway, represent us? Why can't we represent ourselves individually? And that's why, once again, I'm keeping it real. Other races are surpassing, and black folks, we are definitely kind of falling behind because we're still BSing. We're still blaming the man. It's all about race to us. Get that race crap out of the way. No white man can do any more than I can do. You know what I mean? And I taught my son that, who is blacker than I am percentage-wise. No one else is better than you. You are just as good as anybody. So don't bring that race crap ever out into society because you're only going to get looked at as a fool. And it's going to come to stuff like this. Now we're here talking about some dumb Confederate flag.
And now tomorrow we're going to be celebrating the American flag.
Yeah, go figure.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah. Hey, Dusty, we have a caller. Can we put him on?
Please.
Zombie. Is Zombie on the phone? Zombie.
Hey, guys.
Zombie!
Hey, Zombie, weigh in on this. What do you think?
Well, I don't think the Confederate flag has any business flying over any state capital or anything like that. So I agree. That does, but the media is changing things up. That flag, there's a couple of yahoos used to run around with that as a racist part of thing. But that's not that flag. To make it part of like the swastika is totally wrong. That's not what that flag represented. That flag represented being a rebel against establishment.
You guys, white people need to stop that too. That's a dumb argument. I'm sorry. Let's kill that whole, our flag doesn't represent racism. It represents pride, Southern pride, all that. You know what? A lot of that flag represented racism, and I agree with you on one point. It doesn't belong on any government buildings at all. Just like no Nazi.
You know who used to fly that flag a lot? The Democratic Party used to fly that flag. The Democratic Party was known as the Dixie Party in the 50s, believe it or not.
It's 2015.
Yeah, so that's right.
But you can't bury history either.
No, don't take it off of the car.
You can't mold it just to make people feel happy.
But don't take it off of the car.
To make
right. Don't take it off the car. I mean,
it's part of history. Don't change it. We talk about slavery. Guess what country still has slavery? What continent?
Africa. We all know this.
The United States has
back in the day, black people sold black people. Yes, we know this. We've heard this 1,000 times.
We fixed it.
Yeah. Well, this is happy hour, and this isn't becoming very happy.
Yeah, we want to be happy. Let's be happy.
Then we can't talk about politics and stuff like that.
We can.
We're partying together.
If you're in a bar. But, hey, Dusty, when you're in a bar, do you talk about politics or religion?
Or religion. Ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed the show. Thanks a lot.
All right. Hey, thanks, Zombie.
Zombie! Hey, take care, Zombie.
Zombie's a regular caller, but, Zombie drinks and he smokes weed, too.
Zombie's a metalhead.
Zombie's a sweetheart. I believe it.
He's a sweetheart, even though he doesn't have any teeth.
Dusty.
What up, guys?
Hey, how you doing? You got me. You got the man-child here. I want to tell you something real quick.
What's up? Give it to me.
Okay, you know what? I've had to deal with my own, since we're talking about this Confederate flag and racism, I agree with Trevor. This is all about happy, but since we're on this subject, I've had to deal with my own because I was just talking to another employee here about, I'm part Choctaw Indian. My great grandmother was a Choctaw squaw. She died when I was 4 years old, and I've had people, they see me wearing Indian jewelry or necklaces or whatever it is I have on, or I talk about my heritage, and I have people in the past, they've said things to me about how, yeah, you ain't no Indian, you don't have no, look at you, they look at me and don't think I am, or they say that I just like the jewelry and I'm really not, and that is so far away from the truth. That is not my blood or my heritage, but even if I wasn't, I like everybody, because as long you're breathing the same air as I am and living under the same sun as I am, so I don't care who you are. But I've had to deal with that. I really have. I've had people, just talk down to me just because, I'm so proud of my heritage.
What's the worst you've heard? What's the worst you've heard, or what's the worst that's happened?
Oh, I've had people I told them I'm Choctaw, and they thought I said Cherokee, and I said, yeah, the only Cherokee you are is probably the car you drive. I've had people talk to me like that, and I said, I never said Cherokee. I said I was Choctaw. And so,
what I would have done is I would have picked his race, and I would have just came back.
And I've been called a half breed. I've been called a half breed a few times, but I'm not even a half breed. I'm only an eighth, for crying out loud. I never said anything. I've been called that. I've been called wannabe Geronimo. I've heard it, but I think just stepping on it by not even getting by getting the tribe right. I think that was probably the worst.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure out. We're dealing with a bunch of ignorant people. I think 8 out of 10 people in America have to be some mental issue with them. So we kind of have to step out of our house going with that mentality. So when people say stuff like that, I just kind of chalk it up to, most people are idiots, and I'll just joke about it and just move on. But I don't dwell on race. I was biracial, so believe me, no one got it worse than anywhere. I was too white for the black kids and too black for the white kids.
Well, hey, Dusty, we're in San Bernardino, okay? And that's where we're broadcasting from. And I came in here, and somebody that works at the station actually said, we got into this conversation to me, you haven't walked in my shoes, look at your skin. I mean, is that racist because I'm white?
Well, that is very racist. And I don't know why people have this whole reverse racism argument is garbage as well, because reverse racism is racism. And yes, white people experience it too. You guys experience it, if not more. And you guys shrug it off your shoulder a lot more. Guys, I hang out with my family, my half-black family.
You guys?
And they talk crap about white people all the time. And I just think in my head, wow, if this was a bunch of white people sitting around saying this stuff about black people, I mean, it would sound racist. But it's racism. It's still racism. Yes, what you experienced when that guy told you don't know what it is walking in my shoes, that's racism.
And he said, look at your skin.
That's not cool.
Right.
No, that's not cool at all.
Right. And you play both sides, because I've seen I guess your mom's white, right?
Hey, I look at my skin and I look at my skin and I see a bunch of hair on my arms and I see a bunch of scars from one of my jobs. That's what I see. So that's all I know. Hey, Dusty. Hey, switching gears.
Dusty. I think we're gonna have to go. But go ahead, Lyle. Finish it up.
Yeah, Lyle's I got it. We're totally switching gears and getting off this. Are you a sports fan?
I am.
Are you an Angel or are you a Dodger?
I already know. I'm looking at the screen right now. I'm a Dodger fan, my guy.
Hey, God bless you. That's fine. At least you didn't say you're a Ranger fan or a Yankee fan, but that's all right. Are you a 49er fan?
Not at all. I would be across the bridge, and I'm very ashamed that I'm saying this with my head down. I'm across the bridge, I'm a Raider fan.
Hey, that's quite all right. At least you stand up for yourself.
All right. Hey, Angel, thanks for calling in. We're going to go to a break, and I really appreciate it.
Cool.
Take care.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. We'll have to do this again.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Okay, bye. And we go to a break. Joe. I got to signal up to go to
Brass monkey, that funky monkey. Brass monkey, chunky, that funky monkey. Brass
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com. So you got your taxes done and filed on time, or maybe not. Now is not the time to panic, though. I've got the solution, and they're right here in the Southland. Weinkoop & Associates been in the business of serving OC and IE accounting and bookkeeping needs for more than 30 years. Whether you're a small or large business or an individual who needs info and help with trust management, accounting, and tax returns, Weinkoop & Associates can help. Oh, and the initial evaluation is free. Call 949-851-1632. That's 949-851-1632. Or go to winecoopcpa.com. That's WYNKOOP CPA.com.
What is this for? What are you anyway? My name's Gary Garber. I used to work for the Howard Stern Show, but now I'm doing my own radio show.
Weekday mornings at 8 o'clock right here on KCAA 1050 AM.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. Ruined your black tie affair. Last one to know, last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. Places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. I'll be okay.
Big on
Okay, Lyle's going crazy right now, and I see Di and Joe dancing in the studio.
Okay.
All right, am I on the air now?
We are.
All right, this is Trevor and Lyle. Yeah, we're still Trevor and Lyle.
Yes.
We haven't changed yet.
I'm not ever going to change.
We haven't changed. But I think we have Judy in Michigan on the line. Don't bring her on yet. Judy, is Judy on the line?
Guys.
Judy.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I'm here.
Hey, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Oh, now I can.
Okay, we have.
Okay, but we have to talk about our sponsor who gave us a dozen donuts. Can we do that?
Who was it?
Okay, Lyle. We got a sponsor that gives us donuts every week. Go ahead.
Was it
Well, let me
McDonald's?
take a bite of the donut.
Just hold on.
Is it what?
Was it McDonald's?
No, go ahead.
I love it.
Let Lyle finish this one off.
Okay.
He's eating a donut right now.
I'm eating a donut.
This is our sponsor.
Donuts aren't very good for you, you know.
I'm very aware of that. I don't really eat them very often, especially since I've been on this diet and since I've been running like 75 miles a week anyway. But no, honestly, our sponsor is PK Donuts. It's at 602 South Brea Boulevard. They are the best donuts in Orange County, and they're family ran. They're great people. They all do a great job, and they are personal friends of mine.
Solid meal.
They are. I'm telling you what. I'm serious. They are
He's
very.
talking with his mouth full.
Okay, hold on. Here we are. Okay. All right. Anyway, PK Donuts in the city of Brea. It's at 602 South Brea Boulevard. Family owned, and they're very, very good people, very hardworking, very dedicated, and like I said, they are very personal friends of mine.
How far are they from the Carousel Mall?
About 40 miles.
About 40 miles. They're about a quarter of a mile from where I live.
Yeah.
You guys really got a range going on.
We got a lot of stuff going on like you.
Yeah, you're on the air right now.
You're on the air with us.
Yeah, how cool is that?
That's cool.
Anyways,
Okay.
guys, you got to be kidding me. This Confederate flag thing, you guys are just contributing more to it.
Okay, tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that it's so much wrong as it is a division in the whole kit caboodle of society in the United States. And why? Because some media personality decides it's a big deal. Okay, so here you guys are. You know about you.
Well, Judy, originally, the thing is, what the show was about was TV land, going spineless and yanking a TV show that has been on since the 1970s, and everybody loves it, and all of a sudden they yank it, reruns of it, because of what occurred back there in South Carolina, which all of us are
Which is ridiculous.
Yes, that is what our show is about today. It's not so much about how we stand for this or it has
But when
nothing
you
to do with that.
when you get into all that, everybody's feelings get hurt.
Exactly, or they get hurt, or they want to weigh in on their opinion or weigh in on the subject.
Well, the other thing is, Trevor said, well, we can't bury history. Well, yes, we can, because we have done it. King George sponsored and sanctioned the colonists, and, hey, there wouldn't have been a civil war if it hadn't been for that. They were going around doing things that looked like the Native Americans did it, and the Native Americans were actually friendly to the people that came here. It's like, it's a total farce. So anyway, that's the end of that.
Look, hey, Judy, that's like saying, now all of a sudden we have dispensaries that sell marijuana. Do you want to bury history that it was illegal? Huh?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to wipe that right out.
You want to wipe it out. See, exactly, but it still happened. You can't bury it. I don't believe it. I don't believe in doing that.
But we've already buried a lot of our history, is what I'm saying.
Well, then who are we? Who are we then?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who are we?
We're the people that invaded a country because England wanted more land.
And here we're going into the 4th of July, and we don't even know who we are.
The 4th of July.
I know who I am. I know exactly who I am, and I don't care. I'm gonna be this way forever.
I know who I am, and Judy knows who I am, but sometimes I slur my words.
Sometimes.
A little bit.
No. No, Judy, I know her. I know where I am. I've got this, you know what? I'm always going to be this way. I don't know how many times I've been told to calm down, be quiet, do this, do that. And you know what? It's never going to change. And I've had a lot of tragedies in my life, and I'm still the same old Lyle. So I know where I'm at. I know where I stand. I love God, family, and everybody around me. And you know what? And if you're nice to me, I'm your friend. And that's how I wish all of us could be. Unfortunately, we're not all going to be that way, but I wish all of us could just be just great, friendly, and you know what? Put on the flip-flops, walk down the street at 2 in the morning and 1:30 in the morning, get that beer and come back and party with your friends and whatever your pleasure is. That's me.
And in there somewhere you found time to serve our country, right?
In that time, I tried about 7 different times to get military. They would not accept me because I have epilepsy.
Oh, well.
And I tried.
Maybe that's a blessing in disguise.
I did try because all my father, my grandfathers, they were all in military.
Well, Judy.
Or my nephews.
We're going to have to wind this show down, but what I want to do is, can you approve of doing a Rockin' with Rune rewind for the 4th of July?
Well, yeah.
Would you stay on the air for that? Joe, do we have it? All right. We're only got 5 minutes or less left, so we're going into the 4th of July with Rockin' with Rune, Ted Rooney, and Judy approves.
Skip it.
What?
Skip it.
Skip it?
No, this is more important. It's the 4th of July weekend, and everybody is out partying, lighting off firecrackers, smoking up my world, along with the smoke from the wildfires in Canada, if you can imagine. A little bit of that's drifting over, too. So it smells like smoke And all I got to say is, I hope people realize just how terrorizing those noises can be. People that have experienced bombing and guns being shot at them, bullets flying overhead. There's something called PTSD.
Judy.
It's happy hour.
Yeah.
This is Trevor's happy hour, and I'm gonna have to like override you. I'm gonna override you, Judy. I'm overriding you. We're going into Rockin' with Rune Rewind because I want it to stay happy. Please.
No way.
Happy hour.
Yeah.
It's happy hour.
Look,
You're
Down
getting,
that bottle of beer
you're
and pass
bringing
the
me
peanuts.
down. Let's go into Rockin' with Rune. We're going into Rockin' with Rune, Judy.
And now on Trevor's Happy Hour, we present Rockin' with Rune Rewind.
Anyway, I thank y'all for joining me. We're going to keep things going. We still got some time left, so we're going to, I guess I can put it this way, we're going to just carry on.
I rose above the noise and confusion just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher.
Kansas.
Trevor and Lyle are going to say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. And I'm sorry, Judah, I had to pull the plug on you, but this is our show. And we still love you.
Yeah, we love all of our callers. We love all
Judy,
our
you
people.
still there?
We really, you know what, everybody, this is happy hour. We love you all. Have a happy 4th of July, and God bless.
Goodbye.
I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. This weekend, we celebrate all things American, including the one product the U.S. arguably makes better than anyone else, cars. But the truth is, it's harder to find a car or truck that's actually made in the USA these days. Cars.com released its annual American Made Index this week. It found only 7 vehicles qualify for that designation this year. That's down from 29 just 5 years ago. Now, to make the cut, final assembly must take place in the U.S., and 75% of the parts must come from suppliers, either here or in Canada. Here's the kicker. The Toyota Camry, built in Kentucky and Indiana, tops the list, and it replaces the Ford F-150, which now gets more of its parts outside the U.S. Most buyers care more about price and reliability these days, but for those who do care where their car is made, the news might just take a little bit of the sparkle out of their 4th of July celebrations this weekend. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
If you make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next. What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the realtor makes it happen.
We worked with the realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
What's buzzing in the news? The 2015 Women's FIFA World Cup Finals. Donald Trump retaliates against Univision, and happy 4th of July. Here's KCAA's Successful Brem with what's trending this week.
Leading with over 2 million searches, the 2015 Women's FIFA World Cup is finally coming to an end. The U.S. and Japan will face each other head-on as they did back in 2011. Many people are calling it the rematch they've been waiting for. Kickoff begins this Sunday. Also trending with over 500,000 searches, Donald Trump has filed a $5 million lawsuit against Univision for not airing the Miss USA pageant last week. This after Trump made derogatory remarks about Mexican immigrants while announcing his candidacy for presidency.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Univision says they stand behind their decision and will continue to fight against Mr. Trump. And it's the 4th of July. Many people are celebrating with parties, parades, traveling, great food, and of course, fireworks. This had over 100,000 searches. I'm Successful Brem with what's trending this week on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
KCAA Loma Linda.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Tom Ladd. For this afternoon, it'll be mostly sunny and a high near 92. A west wind at 5 to 10 expected. Patchy fog after 11 p.m. tonight. Otherwise partly cloudy with a low around 64 with a west wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Patchy fog on the holiday before 11 a.m. Otherwise mostly cloudy, then becoming sunny with a high near 91. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. Time for Change Foundation is working hard on their Champ 47 outreach campaign. Champ 47 stands for Creating Healthy Alternatives, Mobilizing Prop 47. The mission of this campaign is to get the word out that certain felonies can be reduced to misdemeanors through a simple process. TFCF is offering a free felony reduction clinic that will take place Saturday, July 25th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Way World Outreach Mission located at 1001 North Arrowhead Avenue in San Bernardino. Champ 47 is a result of the passage of Proposition 47, the Safe Neighborhoods and Schools Act, which was approved by voters in last November's election. The Champ 47 campaign will help improve health and safety in our community, which has been decimated by mass incarceration. It will also help rebuild families by removing underlying barriers to employment and allowing access to healthcare and education in San Bernardino. For more information, go to timeforchangefoundation.org or call Nicole Wolf at 909-886-2994. 909-886-2994. That's a look at the community calendar on KCAA.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
KCAA.
The show that celebrates small business and entrepreneurs, it's Biz Rap Radio with your host, small businessman, educator, and author Michael Manahan. And welcome to another edition of Biz Rap Radio. It's your host, Michael Manahan, and thank you so much for joining me today. We got a great show lined up for you. If you're new to Biz Rap Radio, we are the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Yes, we're here fighting for you, the small business owners, the entrepreneurs, the movers and the shakers that are trying to help this country. I know you listen to the pundits on television, and they'll tell you that really this whole country revolves around government and big business, and that's where it's at. But in fact, that's not the case. Small business is a powerhouse in the U.S. economy. That's one of the reasons why our economy has always been as strong as it has been. Most new jobs are created by small business. You ever read those Wall Street Journal articles? It doesn't say Hewlett-Packard just created 20,000 new jobs. No, it says Hewlett-Packard just laid off 20,000 people. It's the small businesses out there creating jobs, the entrepreneurs making it happen. And, of course, most people in America work for a small business. Yes, I'll bet that surprises you. You thought everybody worked for General Motors. That's why the government had to bail General Motors out when they did a crappy job of running their business. Well, it's not true. Most people work for small businesses. I mean, just drive through your own city. The dry cleaner, the muffler shop. And, yeah, there's big corporations like McDonald's, but what a lot of people don't understand, McDonald's doesn't own most of its stores. It franchises them to people in your community. There's a business guy who lives in your neighborhood who owns a Wendy's, a Burger King, a McDonald's, a Subway sandwich shop. This country is full of small business and entrepreneurs, and at every step of the way, the banks are trouncing on you, the government's after you for something, and big business is trying to put you out of business. So here at Biz Rap Radio, we're here to defend you. We're here to help you. We want you to make money. We want you to make profits. I know it's become a dirty word, but it really isn't. You need to make profits. First, you take care of your family. Then you take care of the people that work for you. Then you take care of your community. That's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way it's always worked in America. The idea isn't you make a whole bunch of money so you can give it to the government and they take care of everything. No, you make the money and you take care of your community. And you ever notice something? I notice in the community in which I live, Long Beach, California, a lot of businesses are involved in the community. And it's not like Coca-Cola when they sponsor the local 10K run. For Coca-Cola, that's not a charitable cause. That's advertising. But when a local business sponsors the softball team, the football team, the basketball team, they're really doing it because they want to be good citizens and members of the community. And, of course, I fully expect all of you listeners to support the small businesses in your community. Don't forget, check us out at bizrapradio.com. That's bizrapradio.com. You can listen to all of our archived shows. You can use our suggestion box, communicate with me. Let me know if there's something you would like to hear on the air. Maybe you've got a story to tell. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you'd like to be on the show. Or maybe you can help other entrepreneurs and small businesses do a better job of running their business and making more money. And speaking of helping people run their businesses and make more money, with that, I'm going to introduce today's guests. That is exactly what this gentleman does. He is an expert on social media, and in particular, that strange website called Twitter. And I know some of you probably know all about Twitter. You know exactly what's involved with Twitter. But I'm sure there's many of you who really don't understand it. So with that, I'm going to introduce Andrew Camphy. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much.
So, Andrew, you are an expert in this social media website called Twitter. But can you really explain to us what is Twitter? Because I'll be honest, I have a couple of Twitter accounts, one for my business radio show and another one for another business I'm involved in. But I don't really go on there and do much posting, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to post.
Well, Mike, that's almost the first problem, is that everyone looks at Twitter as this thing where they're going to be bombarded by ads and people talking to them and what people consider social media personalities like the Kardashians. But really, at its heart, Twitter is one of the greatest pieces of technology in the modern day to be able to communicate one-on-one. to be able to communicate with someone who you might not have in your personal network, have a public discourse with them.
Okay, so I go and I start an account for Twitter. Well, I've got an account. We got a BizRap Radio account for Twitter. Who's going to look if I go on there and I make a post about an upcoming show or an interesting topic we discussed on the show? Who's going to look at that? Who's going to actually see that information?
Well, there's a ton of thousands and hundreds of thousands of business people that use Twitter every day. The best thing is that they use it every day. There's 275 million active users. It's able to be used every day because it's bite-sized. It started as a microblogging site. People could say short things about themselves, but then, you're able to use a link, so you could give a headline. So Twitter is one of the best ways to read the news because you can click through a bunch of headlines, click over to a link, and see it. So people who are busy use Twitter. People who are successful use Twitter because busyness sometimes goes with success. And you have to capture that. And with BizRap Radio, you can find people who are also interested in entrepreneurial tasks and entrepreneurial endeavors because they're on Twitter using it every day. They just don't know you exist yet.
And so if I was to go into Twitter and, say, do a search on entrepreneurs, is it possible my radio show might come up, BizRap Radio?
It might, but you're going to first find the big personalities like Richard Branson and other personalities that are big. I don't really do much. Searching is a great way to find what's happening and what's the conversation. BizRap Radio can be a part of that conversation. So Twitter is one of the best ways to find out what's happening right here, right now, and always, every day, there's a small business. This business is happening. There's new sales. There's new things coming out. There's new startups. You can be at the point of that if you're just reading Twitter. You can read 10 things a day, and 5 of them are going to be absolutely interesting stuff that you're going to go off and spend a half an hour on reading and stuff. And you can actually then turn around and talk to people and say, if you found an article on Twitter, the person who found it, you might follow them because they might have some interesting more stuff to do. So you have to be followable as well if you want to be on. BizRap Radio needs to be followable, and you need to follow people because you have to be a part of the conversation.
Gotcha. So there's no question. You say there's. Did you say there's 250, 300 million people on Twitter?
Yep, that's active users.
Active users. So there's no question that a business today, even a small business, a small entrepreneurial business, should have a Twitter account. Okay, so let's say there's a small caterer here down in Long Beach. She just opened her catering business. She's, borrowed a friend's restaurant, so she does her cooking in the friend's restaurant. And, she does small parties and small weddings and office parties and things like that. So she starts up her Twitter account. What should she put on her account? What kind of posts do you think somebody like that should make?
So what I say is to be successful, you have to seem successful. So if she's already working, she already has these amazing catering jobs that she's doing. She doesn't have to include anyone in the picture. She just has to say what she's doing and what's happening. Because when somebody looks at her Twitter account, they want to know, what is she doing right now? What is her actual business? So she shouldn't be posting about her cup of coffee unless she's catering to 200 people the greatest coffee in the world. She could be posting about what she's doing that night, who she's cooking for, if they allow her to talk about it. And the best thing about Twitter is she can go and talk to people who are having events and say, do you have your catering? Do you have your catering? She doesn't have to send, cold email. You don't have to send flyers. You don't have to send any mailings. You can literally talk to someone on Twitter, and she can tweet at them, and they'll get it on their phone in their normal day. Everybody has a phone on them. Gosh, I get crazy when I when I can't find my phone for 5 minutes.
Well, that of course is a whole other subject. We have been completely addicted to these phones, and that it's just incredible. But look at Andrew. We are coming up on a commercial break here. When we come back from the commercial, we'll talk more about Twitter, how maybe you can help people who are struggling to use Twitter effectively, and we'll get your contact information. So it's Mike Manahan, Biz Rap Radio, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Money, 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 must be funny in the rich man's world. Money, 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 always sunny in the rich man's world.
There are many factors that make a successful business. You need a good product or service, you need capital, you need good people, and you need an effective organizational design. Many businesses fail or fail to raise the capital they need to succeed. Of course, it's tough for small businesses because the owners have to balance long-term thinking and planning with day-to-day blocking and tackling. If you're thinking that maybe you could use a little help with your business, consider calling MatchVest Capital Consultants. The people behind MatchVest Capital Consultants have a track record of assisting businesses in producing effective business plans and projections, designing organizations to effectively execute on those business plans, and raising the capital needed to fund growth and expansion. The price for our services is reasonable. We have flexible terms, and we can design an engagement that works for you. Why not get the MatchVest Capital Consultants on your team? Check out MatchVestCapital.com today. That's MatchVestCapital.com.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio. Did you know one of the fastest growing sectors of the economy is hormone replacement or anti-aging therapy for senior men? 11,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day, and many of them are rebalancing their hormones to have more muscle, energy, and drive. Grandpas across America are rolling back the clock with modern medicine. You can capitalize on this wave of aging male baby boomers. Own a piece of the company and use its anti-aging products. Sound interesting? As a founding investor in Maxim Rejuvenation, you not only get in on the ground floor, but you get credit for your investment in medical services and treatments. Own the stock and roll back the clock. Give me a call and see if you qualify. Call 800-725-7240 or send me an email at mike@bizrapradio.com.
There really are secrets to raising capital. And if you don't know them, your chances of getting funding for your business are not very good. But you don't need a Harvard MBA or a $200,000 a year chief financial officer to get you the money you need. What you need to do is understand how the money guys work, what makes them invest, and what makes them pass and go on to the next deal. That's what you'll find in the book, The Secrets to Raising Capital, available on Amazon.com. It's the definitive guide to understanding the capital raising process and contains those secrets the money guys and Wall Street gurus don't want you to know. Hundreds of thousands of businesses are looking for funding, but only a small percentage get funded. You need more than a good idea and a snappy business plan. You need the secrets to raising capital to give you a competitive edge over other businesses looking for money. So get a copy of The Secrets to Raising Capital at Amazon.com today. That's The Secrets to Raising Capital, available for less than $20 at Amazon.com.
Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash.
And welcome back to Biz Rap Radio. Thanks so much for sticking with us. And if you were listening to the first part of the show, we were talking to Andrew Kampfe. Andrew is a Twitter expert, and he can help you, as he's helped me with my Twitter followers and my Twitter strategy. He can help you with that, and hopefully we're going to get some ideas from him today on the air. And if you're interested, you could always contact Andrew. Andrew, thanks for sticking with us.
Great, thanks. It's been fun.
Hey, Andrew, if somebody is, just before we forget, because again, I know we get wrapped up in the conversation we're talking, I get all excited about listening to ideas and strategies that small businesses and entrepreneurs can use to do better in business. Before we forget, where can somebody get a hold of you if they're interested in learning more about how to use Twitter effectively and perhaps even, engaging your services to assist them?
All right, so I think this email address is going to be available on your site, BizRap Radio archive, in the past guests. But my email is campheapproved@gmail.com. That's KAMPHEY approved, APPROVED @gmail.com.
Okay, so campfeeapproved@gmail.com, and I actually utilized you to help me build an audience for BizRap Radio, and Andrew, one of the things that I was amazed at was it was very economical to do so. Your assistance was not. I'm not going to tell you to commit to a price on the air here, but I did want to mention, because I know sometimes we have experts on the show, and I get feedback emails from people. Hey, I called your expert, and they want $10,000 to help me. I'm a small business. But you have very, very reasonable rates for particularly the exposure that you're able to get somebody on Twitter.
Yeah, that's very good. I do propose my value is excellent. I get my clients typically 1,000 to 3,000 followers per month. That's all real people, real active people who choose to follow them, and only for a few $100s a month.
Wow, that's so. I could potentially have an audience of, or somebody listening could potentially have an audience of people following them on Twitter for a few $100s, and they could get an audience of anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 people. So if you're that small caterer we were talking about here previously, certainly amongst those 3,000 followers would be some people that are hopefully close enough to where the caterer, her community areas she can service, and who are interested in potentially hiring a caterer and catering their event. So that's great. But now, just in terms of kind of an overall Twitter strategy, is there something that businesses use that's called a Twitter strategy, or how does it how does this integrate with a company's kind of overall marketing strategy?
Great, yeah. Twitter marketing is very, very different than any other strategy. If it's an email list, which is specifically people have signed up for that email list and get it every month. You have your flyers, your PR. Twitter is very, very different. So a few basic things that I give my clients to sort of to strategize and to think about as a framework is 2 tweets a day. These are to schedule 2 tweets a day. That's just basic information about your business to the people who you want to have as clients or customers. Or it's a daily going on. Like if you know in 2 weeks you're going to be in Hoboken, New Jersey, or Santa Clarita, you can schedule that post 2 weeks ahead to be like, today we're in Santa Clarita. Very simple things. And then I also propose to actually be active. So if you have 2 tweets a day, that allows you to not even think about, what do I tweet today? That's the hardest question, and the biggest question that I have from clients is, what do I tweet? What do I say? What do I say? And it's like, actually, if you schedule them for 2 weeks, it's very easy to just keep typing, keep entering it in, schedule it 2 weeks in advance or a month in advance. But then, on the flip side, every single day, actually respond to people. People will be asking you questions. New followers will come. And actually be human and actually have those one-on-one conversations. Don't think about having to deal with the 3,000 people or 5,000 people or 10,000 people, but think about the one person. Interact at least every day with one person. Some of my clients, they do 10 people a day or 100 if they have a team of social media managers. But a lot of my clients are solo entrepreneurs, so I say just connect with one person a day through Twitter.
Well, that sounds pretty simple. I mean, that doesn't sound like it should be a lot of work. I mean, I guess a tweet, these are short, right? You can't write long paragraphs on Twitter. What's the size limit to a tweet, if you will?
So a tweet's limit is 140 characters, but I actually recommend people limit themselves to 90 to 100.
So how many words would that be? About 15 or 20 words?
Yeah. like 1 or 2 sentences.
1 or 2 sentences. So somebody needs just to put together 1 or 2 sentences. Well, I'll give you an example. Let me ask you this. Last night, I attended an event in Torrance, California. It was the South Bay Entrepreneurial Center, and they were having entrepreneurs who were trying to raise funding. They were having those entrepreneurs. There was 3 groups of entrepreneurs got up to pitch their deal. And there was a bunch of people in the audience, successful business people. There was some students of entrepreneurship from Cal State Dominguez Hills. There was some other entrepreneurs, some attorneys, some accountants, just a group of some high net worth individual investors. Me attending that event, would that be something, given that my show is about entrepreneurship and small business, is that the kind of thing that I would tweet, that I was attending the event?
That sounds perfect. You want to be thought of as a thought leader in the world of entrepreneurs. So Twitter, your personal Twitter is the best filter, but we want to hear about you, right? So like you could tweet about the event. You could even live tweet and say, okay, I just heard this. I just heard this. I just heard this. But that's going to get really boring. People are following you because they want to follow actually you. They want to know your opinion of things. They want to know your side of things. So do that. Be the absolute youest you can be. And that's one of the tenets that I tell clients is the youest you.
Okay, so it shouldn't be all about advertising. I shouldn't be just on there, or any business shouldn't be just on there saying, hey, we're running a special this weekend. We got, for a lawnmower shop, we got lawnmowers on sale this weekend. We should try and personalize it a little bit.
All the time. Every single time you post something, it should be through your own personal filter. So it should be your opinion of something. And honestly, people are gonna hate me for this, but like you can be really, really strong with people on Twitter. Uh-huh. You can either be really good or really bad. It shouldn't be in the middle. Uh-huh. Or very positive or very negative. You shouldn't be just like ambivalent, like, oh, I think this is okay. But like really, like, is this okay? What do you really think about this? Yeah. And if something's bad, then say it's bad, because that person, there is someone there that's being told, oh, this is a negative thing towards society, but they need to know that that's an actual opinion of them.
Okay, so we can be strongly opinionated, but I like the whole idea, Andrew, and I've talked about this a lot. I think one of the competitive advantages that small business people and entrepreneurs have over big corporations is you can personalize your business. It can be more than just a business. It can be you. If you run a small community business, or even a business that's got 3 or 4 locations, and I notice restaurateurs are often very good at this. They have 3 or 4 restaurants. They're not a chain of 50 restaurants. They've got 3 or 4, but they very much make those restaurants reflect their personality. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think small businesses should try to have their small business reflect the owner's personality, so that people are not just buying your product, they are actually having an experience with you, which they could never get by going to a major corporation.
Yeah, you're totally right. One of my clients, he has a restaurant over in Culver City in Los Angeles, and I got him as a client because I went to his restaurant, and he was literally the one there going to the tables and being like, hey, how's your meal? How is your meal? How's your meal? And then I looked at his Twitter, and it was like, today's special is Brussels sprouts. Today's special is meatloaf. Uh-huh. And I was like, you're an amazing person. And so what I did is I coached him into, I didn't really coach him, but I moved him into saying, look, your Twitter is so bland. You have such an amazing personality. He's on TV. He's in a rock band, and he's a restaurateur. That's an amazing person. Like, that person doesn't exist anywhere else. That is the only person that does all those 3 things. And he should be out and about and doing it. And so, I get him, 3,000 followers a month because he's just the himmest him he can be.
Right. Well, Andrew. That's great advice. Look, we got to go for another commercial break. It's BizRap Radio. I'm on with Andrew Camphy. He is a Twitter expert, and we're going to be back with more information on how you can use Twitter to make more money right after these messages.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
There are many factors that make a successful business. You need a good product or service. You need capital. You need good people, and you need an effective organizational design. Many businesses fail or fail to raise the capital they need to succeed. Of course, it's tough for small businesses because the owners have to balance long-term thinking and planning with day-to-day blocking and tackling. If you're thinking that maybe you could use a little help with your business, consider calling MatchVest Capital Consultants. The people behind MatchVest Capital Consultants have a track record of assisting businesses in producing effective business plans and projections, designing organizations to effectively execute on those business plans, and raising the capital needed to fund growth and expansion. The price for our services is reasonable. We have flexible terms, and we can design an engagement that works for you. Why not get the MatchVest Capital Consultants on your team? Check out MatchVestCapital.com today. That's MatchVestCapital.com.
It's Mike Manahan, host of BizRap Radio. Did you know one of the fastest growing sectors of the economy is hormone replacement or anti-aging therapy for senior men? 11,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day, and many of them are rebalancing their hormones to have more muscle, energy, and drive. Grandpas across America are rolling back the clock with modern medicine. You can capitalize on this wave of aging male baby boomers. Own a piece of the company and use its anti-aging products. Sound interesting? As a founding investor in Maxim Rejuvenation, you not only get in on the ground floor, but you get credit for your investment in medical services and treatments. Own the stock and roll back the clock. Give me a call and see if you qualify. Call 800-725-7240 or send me an email at mike@bizrapradio.com.
There really are secrets to raising capital. And if you don't know them, your chances of getting funding for your business are not very good. But you don't need a Harvard MBA or a $200,000 a year chief financial officer to get you the money you need. What you need to do is understand how the money guys work, what makes them invest, and what makes them pass and go on to the next deal. That's what you'll find in the book, The Secrets to Raising Capital, available on Amazon.com. It's the definitive guide to understanding the capital raising process and contains those secrets the money guys and Wall Street gurus don't want you to know. Hundreds of thousands of businesses are looking for funding, but only a small percentage get funded. You need more than a good idea and a snappy business plan. You need the secrets to raising capital to give you a competitive edge over other businesses looking for money. So get a copy of The Secrets to Raising Capital at Amazon.com today. That's The Secrets to Raising Capital, available for less than $20 at Amazon.com.
And welcome back to BizRap Radio. It's your host, Michael Manahan. And if you were listening to us for the last two segments, you know we've been talking with Andrew Camphy. He is a Twitter expert. He's been talking about how you can use Twitter to improve your business, to market your business, but also to put a little bit of a personality touch on your business to let people who might come to your business or use your business services, understand who you are and what you're all about. If you're new to the show, if you're just tuned in, it is BizRap Radio. We are the show all about entrepreneurs and small businesses. We're here to help you as small business people do a better job of running your business, make more money, make profits, take care of yourself, your family, your community. And you can always go to bizrapradio.com. That's bizrapradio.com. Listen to all of our archived shows. We've got, I think 50, 60 shows on there now. Great experts who can help you with your business. Most of them, by the way, offer some form of free advice or service. A lot of them have white papers on their websites. A lot of them will give you a free 1-hour consultation to talk to you about your business. We've also had a number of money sources on the show, experts on raising money, funding sources, and you can obviously listen to them if you're interested in raising money for your business. And we've had some entrepreneurs on the show, and it's interesting, many of the experts that we have on a show are at the same time also entrepreneurs in their own right. So anyways, back to Andrew Camphy. Andrew, thanks for sticking with us for another segment.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting. This is great stuff. Now, again, we get caught up in the conversation. We're talking about how we can use Twitter and make it a part of our business. And I always forget that you're giving your time and your effort and your energy here to be on my show today, and I want to give you some exposure. So if somebody is interested in learning more about how they can use Twitter more effectively, and in particular perhaps have you assist them with coming up with a better Twitter strategy, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, my email is going to be in your past guests. But you know what? The best way to contact me is through Twitter. I'm on it all day, every day. I get notifications on my phone, so you're going to hit me up. If you tweet at me at Can't Be Approved, KAMPHEYAPPROVED, you'll get me. I'm there. That's me. I don't have an assistant that does it. It's me. I tweet.
Okay, that's great. So go to Camphy Approved on Twitter, and you can communicate directly with Andrew. Follow him and get a hold of him. I really recommend you do so because he's a great guy. He helped me with my Twitter. He's had some wonderful suggestions here on the show. We were talking about one of Andrew's clients who was a restaurateur, and Andrew, you were saying that all this guy posted on Twitter was what the daily specials were, yet he was a very interesting and flamboyant gentleman. He was in a rock band. He owns restaurants, and you were able to kind of change the strategy of the information he posted on Twitter. And what were you able to quantify the results of that changing strategy at all?
So quantifying the results, the ROI is very interesting because you're talking about an online digital presence to an offline personal experience. What he did, there's nothing to connect it except he actually. The way that I do Twitter is it's through strategic following. So I look at all of the entire Twitter and I find the people who would actually follow you. So if you're my client, I would look at who's your user now and where do they exist, and then connecting you to them. So your account follows them, and then they'll choose to follow back. So everyone who follows you is a real person that chooses to follow you. And so what I did for this gentleman is I did anything within 5 miles of his restaurant. Those are the only people I wanted because he did a business restaurant, a daily business. He got an email once from someone who was an internet marketer, and the email was incredibly positive. I just need to preface that as I say what the email was about. The guy goes, I was in your restaurant yesterday for the very first time. I had a very great experience. I liked it. And today, your account followed me. This is very interesting because I didn't say online that I was going to your restaurant. I wasn't, I didn't, post on Foursquare. I didn't even post on Twitter anywhere, but somehow you found me. Well, this might be creepy. I'm an internet marketer, and I know this is actually a good thing. And so that person actually ended up becoming a regular at his restaurant.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really interesting. So this stuff does work. It really does. So once again, Andrew, let's just talk about your services, because I know that even though what you do is you could probably train me to do it in a relatively short period of time. Maybe not. I mean, obviously there's some expertise involved, but one of the problems with most small business people, and I meet them every single day, you got a big corporation and you got thousands of employees. You can always find somebody who's got enough time to take on an additional task. There's always that person around the corner who really doesn't have enough to do, and you can dump stuff on him. But I know small businesses with, even 15, 20 employees, there is no bandwidth in the organization. They just do not have people standing around twiddling their thumbs with nothing to do. And today, of course, the beauty of today's business model is you can be a small business with a big footprint because you don't have to have thousands of employees. You've got an army of specialists like yourself who can assist for relatively low cost. You're up and running right away. There's no learning curve. Where if I said to my assistant Sally, if I said, okay, Sally, I want you to become a Twitter expert and start tweeting and building my Twitter audience, she wouldn't know how to do it. She wouldn't know where to start. But for literally a few dollars, somebody can engage your services and start building the critical audience they need to make your business successful. So once again, how does somebody get a hold of you? Let's find out that once more.
Tweet at me. That's the best way. Honestly, go on to Twitter, type in my name, Kcaa approved, and find and just tweet at me, and I'll be there to answer any questions you have.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Andrew, I've got about a minute and a half left. Any final thoughts you can give the listening audience about Twitter?
If there's one takeaway to take away from this, I emphatically promote the idea of being a human. Don't be a robot. Don't post things that nobody cares about. And if you don't care about it, nobody will. And actually connect with people, because I learned this the hard way. In the first 3 months that I was doing Twitter, I was gaining followers upon followers and thousands of followers, but I didn't have a single follower, if that makes any sense. And so in the last year, I've really strived and really put a task to it to actually have real conversations with people, ask people real questions, and talk to people in a real way. And I've been able to gain 60,000 followers in the last year.
Wow, you've got 60,000 followers?
Yeah.
Well, then you obviously know what you're doing. And by the way, that's good advice. One of the things that's become very prominent in business discussions these days is networking and how important networking is. And I've gone to those cocktail receptions where there's somebody working the room. I use that kind of in quotations, and their goal is to run around the room and collect 45 business cards. And they somehow think they come out at the end of the cocktail reception with 45 business cards, and they've been successful. And then I get an email from them, and I can't even remember talking to the person.
Yeah.
But you're better off to connect with 3 or 4 people in that cocktail reception, have a meaningful conversation with them, and really determine, are you somebody I'm interested in? Do we have an opportunity to work together? Can we help each other? And then if we can, you'll remember that when you get back to your office and start to put them into your database and think about what to do next. So I think what you're saying is it's somewhat similar.
Exactly.
Okay, well, look at Andrew. We are out of time. It's Andrew Kcaa. Check him out on Twitter. Get your Twitter strategy geared up. Get it in line. If you've got the resources, engage Andrew to give you a hand with that, and you will build a Twitter audience and make your business more successful. Mike Manahan, BizRap Radio. We are going to be back with our final segment of BizRap Radio right after these commercial messages, so definitely stay with us. More to come.
There are many factors that make a successful business. You need a good product or service. You need capital. You need good people. And you need an effective organizational design. Many businesses fail or fail to raise the capital they need to succeed. Of course, it's tough for small businesses because the owners have to balance long-term thinking and planning with day-to-day blocking and tackling. If you're thinking that maybe you could use a little help with your business, consider calling MatchVest Capital Consultants. The people behind MatchVest Capital Consultants have a track record of assisting businesses in producing effective business plans and projections, designing organizations to effectively execute on those business plans, and raising the capital needed to fund growth and expansion. The price for our services is reasonable. We have flexible terms, and we can design an engagement that works for you. Why not get the MatchVest Capital Consultants on your team? Check out MatchVestCapital.com today. That's MatchVestCapital.com.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio. Did you know one of the fastest growing sectors of the economy is hormone replacement or anti-aging therapy for senior men? 11,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day, and many of them are rebalancing their hormones to have more muscle, energy, and drive. Grandpas across America are rolling back the clock with modern medicine. You can capitalize on this wave of aging male baby boomers. Own a piece of the company and use its anti-aging products. Sound interesting? As a founding investor in Maxim Rejuvenation, you not only get in on the ground floor, but you get credit for your investment in medical services and treatments. Own the stock and roll back the clock. Give me a call and see if you qualify. Call 800-725-7240 or send me an email at mike@bizrapradio.com.
There really are secrets to raising capital. And if you don't know them, your chances of getting funding for your business are not very good. But you don't need a Harvard MBA or a $200,000 a year chief financial officer to get you the money you need. What you need to do is understand how the money guys work, what makes them invest, and what makes them pass and go on to the next deal. That's what you'll find in the book, The Secrets to Raising Capital, available on Amazon.com. It's the definitive guide to understanding the capital raising process and contains those secrets the money guys and Wall Street gurus don't want you to know. Hundreds of thousands of businesses are looking for funding, but only a small percentage get funded. You need more than a good idea and a snappy business plan. You need the secrets to raising capital to give you a competitive edge over other businesses looking for money. So get a copy of The Secrets to Raising Capital at Amazon.com today. That's The Secrets to Raising Capital, available for less than $20 at Amazon.com.
And welcome back to Biz Rap Radio. It's your host, Michael Manahan, and that was Andrew Camphy we've been talking with, all about how you can use Twitter more effectively to promote your business. And if you missed the show so far, definitely go to bizrapradio.com, listen to our archives. You can listen to all of our archived shows there, including this show, and hear what Andrew had to say about using Twitter and how you can use Twitter to effectively generate business for your business. Really interesting stuff. But now I want to turn my attention to something that's happened here just recently in the state of California. And that is that there has a ruling come down in one particular case that Uber employees, or at least this one particular Uber employee, was not, in fact, an independent contractor, but this person was an employee. And, of course, for those of you who employ people, you know that this is a big bone of contention, this whole issue about employees and independent contractors. And if an employee qualifies as an independent contractor, you, in effect, have to go through a whole bunch of rigorous rules and regulations. So an independent contractor technically is somebody who is independent. You know, they have some level of free will when they're going to work, where they're going to work. Often they provide their own equipment. Often they serve other customers of theirs. You're not the only person or company that they work for. And of course, if that's not the case, if you restrict a person's hours and you tell them when to come in and when they can leave and a host of other rules, then that person is technically, according to the law, an employee. Now, you may ask, why is this significant? Well, the reason it's significant is because if a person is an employee, You as a business are subject to a whole bunch of additional rules and regulations in terms of your relationship with that employee that don't exist if the person working for you is considered to be an independent contractor. And of course, this whole division between independent contractors and employees is completely and entirely artificial. It is entirely created by the government. Prior to the government defining employees and independent contractors, if somebody worked for you, they worked for you. You paid them for the hours they worked, whether they worked 5 hours or 50 hours. It was pretty simple. But the government decided to make these two categories, the one category being an official employee, the other category being an independent contractor. Now, this has become more problematic as we have more people in this country who are entrepreneurs and who choose to perhaps work for more than one employer. They may work part-time as an Uber driver. They may work part-time in a restaurant. They may work part-time as a web designer. There's many people out there doing what I would consider to be part-time and contract work, and they have pretty flexible schedules. They're running their own little mini business, with, if you will. But now the government's got involved, and they said, well, at least one Uber driver is not an independent contractor. The person is an employee. And what are the ramifications of that? Well, of course, the ramifications are that potentially could signal that every Uber a worker is an employee. And if that happens, it will change the dynamics of the Uber workforce substantially. It is certainly a real squash on entrepreneurism. It's a clamp down on small business. It's a clamp down on freedom and liberties. And you may ask why. Of course, that is always the key question. Whenever things go on in society, when we have rules and regulations that on the surface might seem just a little strange, you've got to look a little deeper. And you have to ask why. Why is it that all of a sudden there's this big interest in whether the people who work for Uber are independent contractors or are they employees? Well, the answer is real simple. It all comes down to money. You see, when you are an employee, your employer, by law, must take a piece of your paycheck and give it to the government. Yes, that's right. And I know a lot of workers out there who really are somewhat befuddled by this. They don't realize that there's a big chunk of their paycheck that actually is taken away from them, and it is sent by your employer to the federal government and to the state government. In addition to that, there is something known as the employer payroll taxes. It's basically your employer's share of the contribution to Medicare and Social Security. So when you have an employee working for you, what you end up doing is taking a big chunk of that employee's paycheck. You add some of your own money to it as the employer, and you send that off to the federal government. Now, what's the difference? Well, the difference is if you are an independent contractor, the employer makes no such deduction. And so what happens is you, as the independent contractor, in effect running your own little small business, are under your own obligation to voluntarily pay the government its share of your earnings. Well, the government doesn't like that. Yes, because you know why? A lot of those independent contractors don't make their payments to the government. They forget. They don't have the money. They use it for something else. They're not good with their bookkeeping. They're not good with their record keeping. And so the government wants everybody to be an employee because that's how the government makes money. And it's not, by the way, just taxes. There's a whole host of different fees that are assessed to businesses based upon the labor force that you have, based upon the number of employees. So this definition between an employee and an independent contractor can have significant financial ramifications for the business. The business wants to hire independent contractors because it's more flexible, it's easier to bring people on board and off board. You're much less likely to be sued by independent contractors for all of the host of things employees tend to sue employers for. And independent contractors like to be independent contractors because they want to be masters of their own destiny. They don't want to be employees, at least most of them don't. They want to be independent. They're running their own little small business. But guess what? Another attack by the institutions, the powers that be, the elite in Washington and the various state capitals, these people who want to run everything and have their fingers in everything, and that's just what this is. This is nothing more than a cheap attack on small business, a cheap attack on entrepreneurship. You know, the last thing the government really wants is entrepreneurs out there because they're much harder to control than employees. It's so much easier to have somebody working for somebody, and you just tell the employer, Mr. Employer, here's what you do. You got Bob working for you. You take 25% of Bob's paycheck, and you send it to Washington. And by the way, if you don't, we don't care about things like corporate legal liability or anything like that. You, Mr. Employer, as the president of the company or the vice president of the company, you can go to jail. And that's the threat that government holds over businesses. And so all the businesses are out there deducting 25, 30 or more % of their employees' paychecks and sending it off to Washington. And that's the whole reason why California is all up in arms against Uber and the independent contractors, because it reduces their control over the purse strings. And that ultimately is their goal. Yes, there's no question about it. Their goal is not a better society. Their goal is not protect the employees. The goal is to continue to increase the money that they put in their own pockets. And by the way, that's your and my money. But they don't seem to care too much about that. Anyway, that's my take on the Uber and independent contractor situation. If you got a senator or a congressman out there, you might send them a note on that. This is Mike Manahan. I am your host, Biz Rap Radio. You know, here at Biz Rap Radio, we believe we can fix the United States of America through a fundamental concept that individuals pursuing their own economic interests in free markets will create more prosperity for more people than can ever be achieved through government regulation and a planned economy. That's the show for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back next week with another edition of Biz Rap Radio.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Radio
Radio, I'm Morgan Brennan. A lot has changed in Atlantic City since last year. The East Coast one-time gaming mecca has lost a third of its casinos, as gaming revenue has plummeted by half since 2006. The city's been scrambling to close a $100 million budget shortfall, but officials insist the worst may be over for this struggling seaside resort. Less local competition has meant more winnings for surviving casinos, which in May posted a 5% yearly increase. Tom Balance, president of the Borgata Hotel Casino, says the market's finally stabilizing.
8 casinos seem to be servicing the customers well, and you can really see strength in the surviving casinos. The employees get more hours, people are taken care of better, there's capital reinvestment going back into those properties in a way that just didn't happen when the market was oversaturated.
But that could change because more competition is coming in New York and Maryland, and there are proposals to build casinos in North Jersey, a move analysts warn could spur more closings here. So the summer is looking up for Atlantic City, but its future is still a roll of the dice. For CNBC Radio, I'm Morgan Brennan.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
If you make the decision to buy the home, then you're faced with what's next. What do we do?
We started at Realtor.com.
Realtor.com gave us a lot more current information.
Listings are pulled directly from the MLS every 15 minutes.
Once you've gone through all of that, the realtor makes it happen.
We worked with the realtor that really knew the area.
And he knew the market.
When you have someone who has the expertise, it makes it so much easier.
Realtor.com and Realtors. Together, we make home happen. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Good afternoon. It's a couple of minutes past the hour. I'm Successful Brim with the latest in local news on KCAA 1050 AM. So what's closed for the 4th of July holiday? Well, most banks and financial markets will be closed. City, county, federal, and state, including the DMV offices, libraries, and superior courts will be closed. However, there's some good news. The U.S. Postal Services will not be closed. Speaking of the 4th of July, fireworks have been seen and heard for the past several nights in some neighborhoods of southwest Riverside County. In Moreno Valley, a 13-year-old boy lost 3 fingers when a device he was holding exploded. Law enforcement officials have warned citizens not to set off their own fireworks, or they will be arrested and prosecuted. And if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend with your family, Inland Empire has 4th of July fireworks and other events scheduled this weekend. Fireworks at Big Bear Lake begins at 8:45, directly off of Pine Knot Landing. And the University of Redlands will also have a fireworks show. Inland Empire weather, mostly sunny, highs around the low 90s for your 4th of July holiday weekend. Lows tonight about 64. Currently it's 93 degrees in San Bernardino. That's the latest in local news. I'm Successful Brim on KCAA 1050 AM.
This report has been brought to you by Paula Casino Spa and Resort. Unleash your inner foodie with chef-inspired food and wine pairings at Cave, now open at Paula Casino and Resort. It's a one-of-a-kind wine cave, lounge, and dining experience you'll have to see to believe. Visit paulacasino.com to learn more.
West Coast Auto of Montclair is the 2015 top-rated pre-owned dealer in California, offering a service department that surpasses expectations in every single way. And while you're there, browse West Coast Auto's extensive lot of best-in-class pre-owned vehicles.
You're getting the best-in-class vehicles with financing options like 0% down and no payments for 90 days. Visit westcoastauto.com or call 9099-million.
Welcome to Isla Earth. In Africa, 2 species depend on each other for survival, but scientists are now discovering that a 3rd species is crucial to that equation. The species? Acacia trees, ants, and elephants. Here's how. Acacias have thorns. Biting ants live in the thorns. They get shelter plus yummy nectar from the base of the acacia leaves. In return, they protect the trees by swarming against anything that might devour acacia leaves. That's where elephants come in. They love acacias. Zoologist Todd Palmer of the University of Florida noticed that acacias fenced off from elephants and other herbivores looked sicker, had fewer thorns, and produced less nectar than unfenced acacias. That didn't make sense. So Palmer took some measurements. He found that without mammals, the trees sheltered fewer and different, less aggressive ants, and these ants ultimately allowed a wood borer beetle to attack the acacia trees. Fenced-in trees were twice as likely to die and grew 65% more slowly. Palmer speculates that since elephants and other mammals have been impacted by poaching and development, this relationship may be in trouble throughout Africa, showing that the delicate balance of nature sometimes includes elephants. Learn more at islaearth.org. Isla Earth is recorded on the campus of California State University, San Bernardino, and produced by the Catalina Island Conservancy, because Earth is an island.
From the latest movies and TV shows to comedy and music, we cover it all on The Beat Pod Show with me, Brad Dalius, each and every week.
Sunday at 11 a.m. and Mondays at 3 p.m.
Here on CNBC, KCAA, 1050 a.m.
This is KCAA.
Welcome to Market Wrap with Mo Ansari, brought to you by Compact Asset Management, providing a holistic approach to world-class wealth management. This is your source for up-to-date investment news and expert views. Market Wrap with Mo Ansari is heard nationwide on the radio and worldwide on the web. Visit marketwrapwithmo.com to learn more about the show and Mo. Email mo at compact.com anytime. Now, here's your host, Mo Ansari.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Market Wrap. This is a special edition of Market Wrap. It's a mid-year review and preview of the real estate market. For the next hour, I'm going to talk about real estate. I'm not a real estate expert, just sharing you my views, but somebody who is a real estate expert will be joining us. That's Dr. Susan Wachter. She is a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. She will join us. You see her on CNBC. She was part of the people that were called in to try to reform Fannie and Freddie Mae. She went to a number of the White House meetings. She was there, and she's been talking to us for years. So it's always good to get her view of what is going on in the real estate market. And I think, again, I talk about stocks and bonds, and that's what I do. But in a balanced portfolio, you should have some real estate also. That's really the key. You might have a little bit more if you're more or real estate biased. You might have a little bit less if you have some less real estate in your portfolio. But you have to really have a balanced approach. Have a little bit in real estate, some in stocks, some in bonds, and that's how you diversify your portfolio. Now, depending on where the prices are, you might cut back on one area and you want to increase the exposure to the other area. That's how, bonds were a great buy in the early 2000s. Stocks were not. So you might want to lighten up on stocks and buy more bonds. In 2006, real estate was going absolutely crazy. And you heard me say, get out of real estate. If you're flipping real estate, be careful. It's going to flip you. And as I said, as you drove down the street, you saw in 2009 and 2010 so many of your neighbors upside down. Literally, no, not literally, but yeah, they were all upside down because they had bought homes at ridiculous prices in 2007 and 2006, and they had gotten those loans, which most people would not qualify for today. And they had bought a lot more house because they said, oh, you know what, let me put my money in because it's going to go up, and I'm going to sell it the year after, and I'll make all this money, and so on. That's not, everything goes in cycles. I said, sell your real estate. And I remember somebody calling me up on the radio broadcast saying, Mo, my neighbor just bought a house and he flipped it and he made $100,000 and you've been telling me to get out of real estate. What kind of stupid advice was that? I said, well, good for him. I'm not saying, sell everything, but make sure you have a way to get out of harm's way. That something turns down that you're going to get out. The problem with real estate is you can't press a button and sell your house. It takes months and months to get out of real estate. It is an illiquid investment. It's a great investment if you're going to hold it 5, 10, 15 years, and you can ride the cycle up and down, and when the market goes down, you can hold on to it and still get your rent. But if you're over-leveraged and you lose your job and you can't pay for your own house, forget about the rental that you have, then you've got a problem. You're over-leveraged. And that's what happened to most people in 2006. They over-levered, and when the market turned down, they ended up not only losing their rentals, but they also lost their primary residences. That's why you need to figure that out and make sure you don't have too much leverage. But if you do get prices at a good price, in California for the first time in 25 years, you could buy homes and get positive cash flow, where what you're paying for them, you could get more rent because people just couldn't buy those homes. They didn't have enough money. They didn't have enough cash. And the bank said, hey, we're not giving you any loans. We've got all these foreclosures sitting on our books. You forget about you giving you a loan. Do you want to buy another? Do you want to buy a house from us? And that's what it was. They were selling off these foreclosures at 50% off, 40% off, 60%, 30% off, wherever they were, depending on locations. There was some great buying opportunities there. But everything goes in cycles. Right now I'm saying the same thing that I was telling you about real estate, about the stock market. I don't know if it's going to turn down, when it's going to turn down, but make sure you have a plan that is going to protect you, that if it turns down, you have a way to get out of harm's way. In stocks, you can get out much faster, but you should have that plan in place. Then we have the people who do real estate, and those people, you have to have that exit strategy in place. You can't sell it on a whim every other day, and that when prices started to go down, people just couldn't sell their homes. They were just stuck. The lower the prices went, the more they couldn't sell, and more they couldn't sell, the lower the prices went. It sort of fed on itself. That's the problem with real estate. But in 2010 and 11, I said, hey, go out and buy real estate. I said, this is going to be one of the best buying opportunities you're going to see. Rates are ridiculously low and prices are crazy cheap. They were selling homes where the lumber in the homes was worth more than what the home was worth. Below cost to build one. So if you get those kind of deals, you go out and start buying some. You buy low and sell high. But now people in Northern California are sitting there saying, Mo, what do I do? I'm trying to buy a house, and I go in. The house is worth 1,500 square feet, and they want $1 million for it in San Jose because it's in a good school district. I went in and made an offer, and I was outbid by 20 people who outbid me. That's just absolutely gone crazy. But I don't see the froth that I saw in 2006 and 7. Why? Because people are buying these homes, have got real credit, they've got real money, they're putting down real deposit, real down payments, and they are really qualified buyers. Because the banks just are not giving loans to anybody right now. They've tightened up so much, they've got from one extreme to the other. Now they want your firstborn before they'll give you any money. They've gone to the other extreme. So the buyers that are buying right now are qualified buyers. They're putting down big down payments, and that's why I don't think it's a bubble in the real estate market. That's really what I don't see. I mean, prices could slow down in Northern California, but that will depend on the job market there. If the stock market starts to go down, and technology stocks, believe me, are going to take the lead on the downside, then everybody who's starting a startup is going to be back at their job, looking for a job, and that really feeds on itself very quickly, especially up in Northern California, because so many people are trying to do startups. And in bad economic times, startups are gone. All of them get wiped out. They're history. So that's where you have to really think about. So, it'll go in cycles, but I don't see a bubble in real estate right now. I see it's not at dead in the bottom of the market. It's not one of those great screaming buys as far as real estate is concerned, the way I'm looking at it. And this is just my observations. That's all I'm talking to you about. I'm looking at it and saying, okay, what can we do? How can we get from here to there? What can we do? And how that's really the key. When I see some opportunities, you hear me say, go out and buy real estate. Why? I thought it's a good time to go out and buy when prices are low. And then you sit on it, but you can't sell it. It's a long-term cycle. It's not a short-term cycle. That's the big difference in the real estate market. And it's a 7-year cycle, and it's not liquid. You can't get out of it. But if not, you should have a portion of your money in the real estate market. That's really, you don't put all of your money in the stock market. You don't put all of your money in the bond market. You don't put all of it in real estate. That's really the key. But you should have different asset classes at different times. You increase your exposure to a certain asset class at a certain time that you feel, okay, this is a time that things are good in this particular asset class, and that's where you go in and start buying when things are cheap. 2009, you could have went in and bought stocks. You could have went in and bought real estate. Everything was cheap at that time. But those opportunities come along once every 20, 25 years. You're waiting for real estate to go down again like it did in 2000. And I hear people screaming every now and then, oh my God, look at Las Vegas. It's right back to where it was, and it's going to crash, and the Las Vegas real estate crash is coming and all of that stuff. That's just trying to scare you into calling their buddy because they've been barred from the industry, from doing business in the industry by the authorities, and they're just the fear mongers and the gloomers and doomers. That's who they are. That's who they are. And you want to go and work with people that have been in the business a period of time, and they're going to give you sound advice and hold your hand that if this market turns, they will have a plan in place, and they're going to be able to execute the plan. You're going to have the best laid plan, but if you can't do anything with it, if you're not going to execute it, you will have a problem. And that's what people do. They just can't. They, first of all, have no clue when to buy, and they absolutely have less clue when to sell. And if they do once sell, they'll never get back in again, because now it takes them so much emotional trauma that they put on every buy and every sell. First of all, they're so emotionally invested in the buy. Before they buy a company stock, they look at the company, they love the company, and they only buy the company stock because they love the company. Now the stock turns down, they go, oh, I can't sell the stock because it's a great company. And they hold on to it and hold on to it. It goes right back down again. Then they say, oh, my God, I've lost all of my money. Some of the people are smart enough they do sell. They get out of the market, and then they go, oh, well, the world is ending. And they go from one extreme to the other, and they go totally to the other extreme. And then they wait. They're sitting in cash waiting for the world to end, and it doesn't. And they spend the next 5, 6, 10 years waiting because that's how their mentality, they spent so much emotional trauma that they went through. They got invested emotionally so deeply into the sell side of the market that they couldn't bring themselves around to buying again. I see that all the time. I see it all the time. And that's where you have to work with a financial advisor that takes the emotions out of it. As far as real estate is concerned, I think it's at this point, you have to do your due diligence. There are areas in the markets that are good. We had Kathy Fetke on the other day, and she mentioned some of the areas that are looking good. Pittsburgh and Virginia and some of those. Other areas have already gone up a lot. California has gone straight up again. Las Vegas is still dead. Won't come back up for another 10 or 15 years. It's not going down anymore, but it's not going up. Arizona has come back up, but it's nowhere close to where it was in 2006. San Francisco is above of where it was in 2006 and 2007. So it's all different areas. Austin, Texas is a great area. Lots of jobs, lots of young people if you want to get rentals there. So it's just where you have to figure out exactly where you're buying. You have to do your homework. You have to do your due diligence in real estate. And then you have to be able to put up cash and don't over leverage yourself. That's one of the hardest things that people do is they go and they over leverage. When the markets go down, they end up losing all of their money. But if you hold on to it over a period of time and you can hold on to the real estate, you should do okay. That's really the key. Let me go to a break. When I come back, we'll talk more about real estate. At the bottom of the hour, we'll be joined by Susan Wachter. She's a professor of real estate and give you some better ideas of what the real estate market is doing. I think we're sort of in the middle of mid-cycle right now. We're not at the bottom, but we're not at the top, depending on the locality where you are. Real estate is all dependent on where it's location. That's really what real estate is all about. And you have to really look at your particular location where you are. But don't be constrained to your particular neighborhood or your particular city or your particular state if you're looking to buy rentals. It's tough, but then you have to, if it's out of state, you have to also make sure somebody is there to maintain it. Let me go to a break. We'll come back and talk more about this. 1-800-388-9700. If you'd like to come and meet with me, you can always stop by here in Newport Beach. The next seminar that I will be doing is on the 22nd in Northern California. You can call right now, make a reservation. 1-800-388-9700. Stay tuned, and I will be right back.
There are 3 reasons why West Coast Auto of Montclair has been consistently named top-rated pre-owned dealer in California. Quality, trust, savings. Every vehicle is hand-selected, extensively serviced, and reconditioned by our certified technicians, so you can feel certain that you're getting the best in-class vehicles with financing options that work for you. Like 0% down and no payments for 90 days.
Experience the best for yourself with West Coast Auto of Montclair. Online at westcoastauto.com or by calling 909-9million.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Men, have you been going along just to get along? Have you been misunderstood for too long now? Well, finally, it's a show made just for you. The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
KCAA is your CNBC news affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
If you're concerned about your company's 401k plan or your self-managed 401k, let Compaq Asset Management check it out for you. For a free analysis of your 401k, call Compaq at 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700. Now, here's Mo with more on Market Wrap.
Welcome back, everyone, to Market Wrap. I'm Mo Ansari, talking about the real estate market today. This is a mid-year review and preview of real estate. I'm not a real estate expert, but a real estate expert will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. That is Dr. Susan Wachter. She's a professor at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. So always all delightful guests to have on the broadcast. Let's take a look at the technical charts of the market. If you look at the weeklies or the monthly charts, the XHB, which is the housing index, started, well, it didn't start till March of 2006. And from 2006, it went from 46 down to 8. So it dropped just about 80-90% on the monthly basis. It has started a nice rally up. It's in the third wave up, not the fifth wave. But we're due for a fourth wave pullback, and that could be pretty severe in this market. Let me go to a weekly chart, see what the weekly XHB looks like. Weekly, it's completed a fifth wave. So it's looking like it's completing a fifth wave on the weeklies. We did make all new highs this on this month so far in the XHB, and then housing is looking good. Doesn't mean that we made the exact top, but we have to look at the rest of the economy. But it has had a good run on the weekly basis. it starts breaking down the XHP, I would be looking at the charts. A break below 33.5 would get me worried. We are 37.28. If we break below 33.5, that would say to me, okay, the weeklies are turning down now. And if the weeklies are turning down, probably the entire stock market would be turning down. And that's what we're seeing in a number of these stocks. When you look at the charts, they're showing fifth wave tops to me. I talked about the daily top that we made in the stock market on the daily charts, fifth wave tops. On the weekly charts, fifth wave tops. So not on the monthlies, but on the weeklies and dailies. But that is indicating to me we're somewhere close to a market pullback, that we're going to get some kind of pullback. That is my reading right now in the market. So we'll see exactly how it